Yes, so I think all of us are back from the break. So how's the Josh? Good, not so good. Hi.
Nice.
Hi, very high. Okay, wonderful. So let's start off with a warm-up video, and I would request all of you to observe this video carefully, and I would request you to observe the speaker's action in this video. Okay, so let's begin. Is it audible to all of you?
Life will sometimes feel like a fight. The punches, jabs, and hooks will come in the form of challenges, obstacles, and failures. Yet if you stay in the ring and learn from those past fights, at the end of each round, you'll be still standing. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow fighters, can you think of a time when life tried to knock you down? Who was your toughest opponent? Most often, our most challenging opponent is ourselves. Round one, college. I dropped out of college not one, not two, not three, but 4 times. I told myself, college isn't for me, and I would never go back. Round 2, marriage. I married my soulmate, the love of my life.
Right. Yes, so I would request you to tell me what was the impact of this video on you, the speaker's actions specifically. Okay, change of tone, way of expression. Right, okay. Yes, Harinder, you would like to say something? Please go ahead.
I liked her confidence and acceptance. Like she was counting on her failures, but she was so confident about it and she was feeling proud of it. Maybe she has made a very good decision after that. That's what I felt.
Great, so confidence. Wonderful. I can see body language. I can also see some of you have written about her fluency. So I got confidence, I got body language, I get fluency. I also get voice modulation, the change in tonality, the volume, and the pauses. Very good. And the way of explaining yourself, Priyanshi, wonderful. That can be said as thought structure. Very good. So we have 5. We have confidence, we have body language, we have voice modulation, we have thought structure and fluency. So let's look at some of the emerging themes of public speaking. So here in this session, we are going to identify and analyze the skills and mindsets to become a public speaker. And we are also going to describe the 5 pillars of public speaking. This is what will be the objective of this session. Now let's think about the video. You said there were few things about the video that stood out from the speaker's action. So these are the 5 pillars of public speaking: body language, confidence, voice, thought structure, and fluency. So 5 things These are the 5 pillars of public speaking. If you want to write it down somewhere, that also you can do. So why do we need to focus on these 5 pillars? Let's understand. Have you ever heard the rule of communication which says 7%, 38%, and 55%? Do you have any idea what this rule tells us? The 7%, 38%, and 55%. What is exactly, what this number denotes exactly? Anyone? Voice, words, and body language. Wonderful. Nikhil, that's correct. 55% Sandeep says is body language. Fluency and coherence. Okay. Speak less, listen more. So 55% is correct. That is body language. 7% is what? Words. Exactly. Yes. 7% is the words that you speak. And 38% is the tone of your voice. Yes, your voice modulation. Now, what does this mean? Yes, Robisha, maybe you can explain us.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So yeah, basically the main thing while we are communicating is the communication is very important in whatever thing. So this 738 and 55% is all about the 7% is the verbal, no, the words, through the verbal communication. What are the words we put in it? And the 38% like what we are going to speak, and 55%, as somebody told, it is exactly the body language. How we speak. It's not like speaking like a statue or anything, giving them an impression by as seen in the video, just giving other portions, expressions, and other things.
Okay, that's absolutely correct. 7% is exactly the verbal things that you speak. And yes, Chelsea, you would also like to say something. Please go ahead.
Like to add in 55%, that which is body language. The body language is more important because if our gestures are there, then the students will be more engaging and the class will be more engaging with the student, and he will also feel very calm and relaxed and will learn more.
Absolutely.
Yes. Where we need body language.
Right. So body language is of utmost importance. Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, true. Body language is 55%. 38% is your voice and 7% of the words. That means what? When you are speaking, when you are communicating, 55% of the message is conveyed through your body language. 38% is conveyed through your voice, and 7% only is conveyed through your words, the words that you speak. What does this mean? That means that the voice and body, these two are the major part of your communication, apart from the words. So as compared to the words that you speak, that means your content which you are speaking, compared to that, your body language, the way you speak, the way you present is much, much more than what you say, right? So this is what was proposed by Professor Albert Mehrabian, and this rule is also known as the Mehrabian principle. This says that when you are conveying a message or a thought, 7% of it is conveyed through your words, 38% of it is conveyed through your voice, and 55% is through your body language. What does this mean? That means if I say, I have to say, I have been stuck in traffic for past 5 hours. That means I'm irritated, I'm annoyed, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, basically. But if I say it like this, hey, I have been stuck in traffic for past 5 hours. This means what? Our body language does not show that we are annoyed. If somebody probably observes us speaking this, he will probably perceive it in something which I am saying it happily. Say, for example, a father is trying to scold a child. You broke my favorite vase, and he's saying it in an exciting tone. You broke my favorite vase. How is it different? The intention is absolutely different as compared to what has been spoken, right? If I say, I just love relaxing by the beach, and if I say it in an angry tone, I just love relaxing by the beach. Sorry for smiling, but yes, this is what we convey. We are conveying our anger and not our words. So the body language, our voice modulation are the most important parts of what we convey. Please give me a second, teachers. So now let's deep dive into each of the 5 pillars. Right. Now let's watch another video and let's understand what kind of video is this. So we just watched, when we started the session, we saw a video of Ramona J. Smith. And you must have felt that, okay, it was a good example of a good body language, good voice modulation, confidence was good, thought structure was wonderful, the fluency of the words of the speaking was amazing. So we can, in totality, we can say that it was a good example of public speaking, right? Now let's watch this video and let's understand. And then tell me whether if we can name this as a non-example or not, and why. Let's have a look.
The British imposed a lot of unpopular taxes on the American colonists and didn't let them elect representatives to the British government. In retaliation, the Americans started to boycott British goods. In 1773, Americans in Massachusetts dumped a shipload of British tea into Boston Harbor. This became known as the Boston Tea Party.
Now, what does this mean? Can we term it as a non-example? Yes, maybe, yes. Why? Why should we be naming it as a non-example? Why do you think? Let's write in the chat section. Not able to connect with the audience? Exactly. Abhi, very monotonous, so basic. Okay, no body language. So body language was not expressive. He was slouching. He was not having an effective body language, as in facial expressions were not there. He was not using his hands while speaking. Apart from that, eye contact was not there. Yes, very good. Audience is getting bored. No modal tones, right? Very good. No, not confident in what he's saying because he's taking the help of a notebook, a paper. No expressions. Standing like a statue. Yes. There's no connection with the audience. True. Skeptic. Okay. Look kind of disinterested. Okay. Instead of writing our opinions about the speaker, can you tell me what did you see in the video which makes you believe that it is a non-example? Like you are saying, there was no hand gestures. There were no facial expressions. The body posture was wrong. He was slouching, right? He was reading from a paper or a note. He was not having an eye contact. So I would like to know not about your opinions, but what you observe. Yes, Vishal. Please unmute.
And mainly what I have observed that people were not even attracted towards his presentation, like how he was delivering the lecture or whatever he was doing. And everyone was finding themselves to be at their comfort zone rather than be interested at his presentation or whatever he was delivering. Since he did not had any kind of expressions or neither the voice modulation and nothing else.
Okay, so voice modulation was not there.
Right.
Okay, great. Fine. So the actions of the speaker, okay, I cannot take all the answers, although I can see some of the answers which you all have written. Audience was disengaged, that's an opinion. What exactly about the speaker's action you felt that the body language was not correct? I already said. What about his confidence? How could you say that he was not confident enough? Yes, Prateek?
The way he was looking at the audience, it clearly felt that he took the audience for granted, and he was delivering a very monotonous kind of a thing. And he said he thought like what was going on in his mind is that, okay, I will speak and people will listen because they are bound to listen because they're sitting there. So that is the
How
kind
did you
of
know that?
the way he looked at the audience and the way he was delivering, his eye contact and everything. It gave me an impression like in his mind, he was getting the notification like, okay, people are sitting, they will listen to me no matter how I speak. And he was not able to connect. He was just delivering a random something. So, yeah.
Okay, yes. So he was not trying to connect because he was not having an eye contact. So that's one indicator of the person not confident enough. If he is confident, if he was confident, then he could have had an eye contact with his audience, correct? So this is an indicator, because in the next activity, we are going to discuss about these indicators of a good body language or a bad body language, a good confidence or not so good confidence. Okay. Reading from the paper tells us that he was not confident. Yes. And also the voice was very low. It's mumbling kind of, isn't it? It was not having a conviction in the voice. So that also tells us that he was not confident enough. Yes, Poonam, you would like to say something. So what tells you that he was not having a good voice modulation also? How would you say that?
He was not confident enough to speak without watching over the paper. And his voice modulation was also not good. As
how can you say that voice modulation was not good?
Very low. He was speaking in so very low pitch and also mumbling.
Okay, wonderful. The pitch was very low. That's true. So yes, the pitch and the way you talk, pausing at the right places, that also tells us whether the voice modulation is correct or not. Okay, very good. Not engaging with the audience, not confident enough. Let's get into the activity first, and let's understand what could be the indicators of a good body language and a bad body language. So let's see. Let me share my screen first. Yeah. So what I would request you to do is take out your notebook or whatever you have, or a notepad, divide it into 2 columns and write down some of the, now that you understand what are the examples and non-example. This was a non-example. Please do not write opinions. Write the actions of the speaker, which tells you that he is not confident. If I say the person is not confident, that's my opinion. Remember this. Let's not write opinions. We will write down our observations rather than writing our opinions. Okay. What did we observe in the speaker? Like, for example, he was not using his hand gesture, so his body language was not good. Okay. So this is how we will write. We are going to divide this into 5 different pillars. We are going to write the examples and non-examples of body language, confidence, voice modulation, thought structure, and fluency. 5 pillars. Is it clear to everyone? We are going to just write down, take some time, take 5 minutes of time, write down what could be the indicators of a good body language, bad body language. What could be the indicators of a good voice modulation, bad voice modulation. What could be the indicators of a good thought structure and a bad thought structure. This is how you are going to write it. Okay, take some time. And I'm going to make some cold calls as well. I want some new faces. Okay, Bhushan, Vasanti, Isha, Drishti, sorry for the reason why I would not be able to pin you, because the camera is not on. That's one reason. So I need somebody whose camera is on. So Shreya. Ailo Beni. Sorry if I pronounce it again wrong. I'm really sorry, but I tried, honestly. Shweta Kotial. John. And Sudha. Two more I'll take, or we'll do it later on. So all eyes on the screen, please. Yes. Bhushan, Vasanti, Isha, Shreya, Ailo, Beni. If I'm wrong, I'm really sorry. Shweta, John, and Sudha Srinivas. Shweta Kotial. Okay. You are 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 8 in number. You are being given, I'm going to divide you into 4 groups. Okay. So Bhushan and Vasanti, you both will be discussing examples and non-examples of body language. So Bhushan, you will be telling me the examples of body language, and Vasanti, you will be telling me the non-examples of body language. Isha and Shreya Ganguly, Isha, you will be telling me the examples of confidence, and Shreya, you will be telling me the non-examples of confidence. Ailo Beni and Shweta, you both will be discussing about voice modulation. Ailo Beni will be telling me about the examples of body language, and Shweta, you will, sorry, the voice modulation. And Shweta, you will be telling me the non-examples of voice modulation. John, you will be telling me some of the examples of thought structure, and Sudha Srinivas, you will be telling me about the non-examples of thought structure. Please take some time, no worries. Write down first. And for the last one, that is fluency, I would request, I can see Vishal and Pratik on my screen. So Vishal and Pratik, both of you can get ready for fluency. Okay. We'll try to keep our answers concise, and we'll try to give the answer in 4 pointers if possible. Bhushan, Vasanti, are we ready? You can show me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, great, wonderful. So Bhushan and Vasanti, you may please begin. Bhushan, with you for the examples.
I think when it comes to body language, one of the most important thing is it should ooze confidence. So it should give an impression to the listener that the speaker knows his stuff.
How will that?
So the entire body language has to be confident. So for example, the tone has to be loud and clear. In case the speaker is walking, the walk should be full of confidence. So the body shouldn't be slouching like we saw in the previous video. The body language, the body should be upfront, tight. Uh, Similarly, I think there should be use of facial expressions as well. Your face shouldn't be dull. So if I'm speaking like this, what we need to understand is the body language has to be. So it's very boring. So you need to ensure that you are engaging enough for the listener to develop interest and listen to you more attentively. So I think these are some of the most. You should have a smile on your face. I think very important. Smile on your face. A dull face, no one wants to see a dull face. So you should have a very smiling face. It's like accepting. So I think these are some of the factors that you need to keep in mind when it comes to examples.
Okay, so Bhushan talks about the body posture. He talks about the facial expressions and a smile. Okay, wonderful. Vasanti, yes.
Now, I'd like to give you a few examples on the non-examples of a body language, which should not be done. The first thing, I'll go by point, as you already told. The first one, you should not be very stiff. That is a wrong body language. The second is a poor eye contact. The third one is, if you're having something in your hand, you should not use it in an inappropriate way or too much. For example, in interviews, if you have handkerchiefs or pen in your hand or something there, doing something bad with that object or inappropriate use can distract the audience who are listening to you. The third one, and sweating.
Like this.
That is an inappropriate, yeah.
Using like this, yeah.
Sweating too much, yeah, out of tension, sweating too much, that is a bad body language. Then you should not slouch, as already told by Bhushan. And then the next thing is proper spacing. When you give a good presentation in front of audience, there should be an enough spacing. You should be at the center of the stage. There should be a proper gap between you and the audience. You should not be too close to them or too far away from them. The good spacing.
Okay, wonderful. That was wonderful. Amazing. Yes,
Thank
most of the
you.
points were covered by both of you. Very true. So hand gestures is also one part of body language as well. So using your hands appropriately is a very good point raised by Vasanti. So thank you so much, Bhushan and Vasanti. Very nicely explained. Thank you. Yes, some of the examples could be open arms, using your hands, and open body language. Firm hand movements, not like flying in the air and something like that, not looking as if dull. Okay. Focusing on your listener, not getting distracted. That's also a good example of body language. Second, facial expressions. Facial expressions are absolutely important. Hand gestures we have already talked about. Non-examples could be folded arms, loose body movements. Loose body movements can be not only slouching, fidgeting, but also swaying. Swaying left to right or front to back. There are many students, many learners which I have seen. They keep on swaying whenever they say a speech or a debate, they keep on swaying. So swaying is something that should be a absolute no-no. Getting distracted, again, distracted by something, and a blank face with no facial expressions could be a non-example of body language. Okay, great. Now the next one, and thank you Vasanti and Bhushan for expressing your ideas. Yes, Isha and Shreya, the next one, let's unmute ourselves. So Isha, you will tell me about some of the examples of confidence. Isha, you're not audible. No worries. You can just check everything is okay. We can move on to Shreya. No worries. Check it first. Yes, Shreya.
So I'm going to speak about the non-examples of confidence, that what we should not do to lack our confidence. That first I want to tell about the topic, that one should have enough knowledge on the topic he or she is going to talk. So the topic knowledge is the main thing, and the preparation, like before speaking we should not only have the knowledge of the topic or the subject we are talking about, we should have enough preparation. Preparation is mandatory, because at least a scratch preparation, that what we are going to tell, the points, the topics, sequentially, if we prepare that after this topic we will going to shift to this topic, from introduction to the body to the conclusion, if we have a proper knowledge and proper planning of this, so automatically confidence will come when finally we are speaking. So topic preparation, practice, and having a plan is most important. So if we are not having those, so this is a non-example of confidence. If we are lacking in our preparation, then automatically we are lacking in our confidence also in the first place. Second is lacking our nervous energy. Like while speaking, confidence, we can lack confidence by lacking our nervous energy. We should focus on our own energy, self-confidence, and go forward for it. And third one is lacking the eye contact. Like we shouldn't avoid the eye contact with the audience. Like some people are thinking that if we don't eye contact with audience, then it will be easy for us. But no, eye contact is most important for any public speaking. So eye contact is important. And also like taking the questions of audience, it will if you are well prepared with your topic, you can take questions from audience. So it will engage audience first of all, and it will build, if you can answer, it will grow your confidence also. So these are the thing. And speaking, like voice tone, these are, we should be very prepared for this also. Like voice tone, voice quality, body language, all the things are parameters of confidence. So we have to be very much careful for all those things also. So I think.
Okay, Isha. Isha, you are not audible. I'm really sorry. No, it's okay. It's absolutely fine. It happens. Technical difficulties are something which always happen. So no worries. It's okay. You can write down your points in the chat. I can read it out for you. So as I think correctly said by Shreya, confidence, the indicators of confidence or a person who is not confident could be a lack of eye contact. The person, so you are a teacher, isn't it? Now you all are Planet Spark teachers. You're going to evaluate the child on the basis of these pillars, isn't it? Think according to that. So if I see a student who is not able to make eye contact with me, that means he is not confident enough to speak. Second is your voice. If your voice has that conviction, it's audible, it has a good volume. Good volume means not shouting. Good volume, fair volume. That means the person is confident. If that fair volume is reduced and it sounds like you are mumbling and you're speaking very softly, that means you probably do not have that confidence to, have a good throw in your voice. The same student will shout outside in the playground, but in front of the teachers, they will speak very low. Why? Because of the loss in the confidence. Okay, that's two indicators, main indicators. Yes, preparation of your content is also, it's actually not a symptom, it's actually a reason. Okay, it's a diagnosis, I could say. Not exactly diagnosis, it's a reason behind the fever. Okay, after the fever, we see the symptoms. So we are discussing the symptoms. We are not discussing about something which caused the fever, right? So the causes can be many of lack of confidence. It can be the fear of getting judged. A lack of preparation can be a reason. A lack of idea of what you have to speak. All these things are. Okay, give me a second. Sorry for that. Okay. Yes. So yes, confidence is an assimilation of voice modulation, good body language, preparedness, everything together. But we are discussing about the symptoms. How would we understand that a person is confident enough or not? Great. Thank you, Isha. No worries. It happens. It's okay. And thank you, Shreya, for sharing your ideas. Very, very clear and very understandable. Confidence, some of the examples could be good eye contact, not hesitating or not shy to speak, your ideas. And non-examples could be, and of course, audible voice, I missed out that. And non-example could be poor eye contact, not having an eye contact with your listeners, and hesitation and shyness. Inaudible voice or mumbling could also be an indicator that the person is not confident. Okay, so we are going to remember, we are going to focus on the symptoms. We're not going to focus on the causes. Okay, great. Now we will move on to voice modulation. And yes, Ilo Benny and Shweta. Again, my pronunciation was wrong. Please forgive me for that. I am very bad at pronouncing names. Please check if you both are audible. Please say something.
Hello.
Yes,
audible?
you're audible. Shweta, please unmute yourself. I just wanted to check.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You both are audible? Okay, fine. So we'll start with Ilo Benny. Please tell me
Yeah.
some of the examples of voice modulation.
A good example of voice modulation would be like adjustment of your volume, pitch, bass, and pauses to suit your audiences. For example, like you are having a conversation with someone and you want to focus on one important point. So in order to do that, in order to convey that message that you are saying something important, like having a normal conversation, but then when you are reaching that point that you want to, that this is important, then you will raise your voice, that you will raise your voice. A sudden raise of voice will catch the attention of your audience and will make them realize that, yes, this is important, this point is important. So yeah, first point is that the volume and the pauses, making a pause on certain topics, like when you boast, then okay, that will also catch the attention of the audience. So yeah, making a pause and setting the pitch of the pitch, it is also a good example of voice modulation. Thank you.
Okay, so pitch.
Emphasis. You talked about the volume. So volume raises on a particular word only if you want to emphasize on that particular point, isn't it? Am I audible for all of you?
No, ma'am.
Now, am I audible? Am I audible now? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm audible, right? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Yes, Khushbu, absolutely. He should be in an active form so that he can directly connect with you. Okay. So voice modulation, there are lots of things. Ilo Benny told us about raise in the voice, raise in the volume. So probably that is the emphasis and subordination of some of the words. Like the content words are more emphasized. Structure words are not so emphasized. They are subordinated. So that's the difference. Okay. Yes, Shweta, you can continue, please.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm telling you about the voice modulation first, and I'm here to explain you about the non-examples of voice modulation. As we all know about the voice modulation, but here I'm explaining you about the non-example of voice modulation. Like if you are telling some story to our students, and we are not telling him in an interesting way, like we, for some basic example, like a primary kid, if I am telling him there is a rat, there is a lion, and he's not getting interest, but if I am emphasis on some special words, so it will create an attention to the listener, and he will carefully listen the story and create a joyful story to him also, and he will automatically get engaged in the story. So that is a perfect example of voice modulation. So we have to create a variation of voices, and we have to emphasize on some basic words. That's my opinion, I think so.
Absolutely, yes. So very important in voice modulation is the emphasis of keywords. So yes, let me share it. Yes, stressing on important words, that's the first and foremost requirement of a voice modulation. Emphasizing on the correct places, on the correct words where you want the listener to listen to it.
where you want it to be heard. That's what is emphasis. Pausing at the right places, that also is, am I audible now?
Now am I audible? Actually, because of some of the voices are coming so feeble, I had to listen to it in the headphones. So that was the reason. However, I'll try to use another headphones. Give me a second, please. Please give me a second. No worries. My earphones are not working. Fine. So, yes, voice modulation, most important is the emphasis. I said stressing on important words. Second is taking pauses, correct pauses at the correct time, relevant pauses, and the tonality. Tonality means the intonation or the inflection that we use, the fall and rise, where we have to rise our pitch, raise our pitch, where we have to fall. All these are examples of voice modulation. Some non-examples could be lacking the relevant pauses, where you have to actually take pauses, you're not taking pauses. So probably the audience is not getting where the thoughts are changing, where the ideas are changing. So pauses are not effective. Second can be no stress on the words that you want to convey, the most important words, lack of stress. Then again, speaking in a monotonous fashion. Monotonous means no tonality changes, no change of pitch. There is no intonation, no fall and rise. And very important is the sing-song style of speaking, which we all must have done this. Good morning, teacher. We all have done this, isn't it? Yes. So that is a sing-song voice, which we should try to discourage the students about. However, I would also like to say in small students, when you are communicating with young students like the KG 1, 2, also 2. So those children, they are very small and your voice needs to be a little animated. That is a different thing. Animation in the voice is different, but sing-song style of speaking is absolutely different. Like greeting the child, hey Rohan, how are you? So how are you doing today? Okay, so it's a beautiful morning, isn't it? So what did you do at school? Wonderful. Okay, so what do you like doing in your free time? So you use those kind of animation on your voice because you're talking with a child. Do you like chocolates? Oh, wow, very good. You like chocolates? So you know you're talking to a small child. So animation in the voice, of course, that will be there. But singer-song is that's absolutely different. I have a child who, whenever she starts a speech, she says, good morning, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Shindini Go, and I am going to speak before you a topic on pollution. So let's start. This is a sing-song style of speaking. So these things are very different. Okay, Divya, please don't get confused. No mocks, no demos tomorrow, nothing. Demo will happen once you are finally a Planet Spark teacher. That means you're onboarded in written. Okay. Second, when you are going to give the mocks, once you are already trained. You cannot give any examinations or evaluation. You cannot sit for any evaluations until and unless you're not trained. Okay. That's the point. Okay. Thank you so much, Shweta. Now we'll move on to John and Sudha. So John, you can start off with the examples of thought structure. You can unmute yourself. Just check. Not able to? Unmute yourself. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, you're audible. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon, Ms. Priti too. So it's great to be part of this training program. I think the thought structure is probably the most important part when it comes to delivering a speech. Sometimes you can make or break with a thought. So it's just like, when it comes to a speech, we have mainly three parts. The first part is actually the introduction, and then comes the body of the message, and then the conclusion. And when it comes to the thought structure, like let me say that you have to outline the most important points in a speech. And it's always good to start with the introduction, okay, which leads to the main point. To the main body rather. And then you will have to probably break it into different points. And like I said, it's really important to have a wonderful piece of thought in the speech, and you can then and it's really important that if you have the strongest thought, definitely you can get your audience pay attention to what you speak, so which is really important. And probably I can explain with a piece of example how important it is to get into the point rather than just beating around the bush. Some people deliver speech, but it's of no importance. I mean, it's not effective just because they're really not getting into the real point, the reason. So I'll tell you, there was a person who often used to go to church, and he would always pray. This was his prayer point every time. He would always pray, "Lord, please remove these kebab from my heart." That means, please remove, or let's say, please remove this kebab. Hope you understand what is kebab. Just the spider's net. Every time he goes to church, this is his prayer point. And one of his friends who was, utterly disturbed about this prayer point, one day he prayed to God like this: "Lord, please do not, remove the cobweb from his heart. Rather, please kill the spider, that is actually causing, that's actually the reason behind making this cobweb." So this is really important when it comes to a speech. It's not about beating around the bush. You got to make sure that you have some content, come straight to the point, and lead them to that. So that's all about the speech structure. As far as I'm concerned, of course, you can have so many points, but you got to come to the point always. So that's really important when it comes to thought structure. That's all about what I have to say. Thank you very much for
Wonderful,
being patient.
absolutely. And the examples was very to the point. This example I heard somewhere a few days back. Somebody told me very similar to this, not exactly this one, but yes, very similar to this. To the point is very important. Okay, yes, Sudha, your points. Non-examples of thoughts.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, so I will be telling you the non-examples of thought structure. Now, this basically would be when there are no enough words for the speaker to speak. Okay, when he is not very fluent in his language. So, and also more, he does not have the subject knowledge at all. So all this comes because of lack of preparation. So when you're not really well prepared for your speech, if your speech is not very well organized, you don't know what to say first. As the previous speaker said, you should have an introduction and then the main content, and then you have an end, you conclude with something. So when your speech is not very well organized, so you don't have a subject knowledge, when you don't have enough fluency, when you're not able to put all these in proper words. So when you run out of words, when you are in when you are under utter pressure also sometimes. So many times what happens is we are very well prepared, but maybe due to some fear or some lack of confidence and due to some intense pressure, we kind of forget everything. So all these things happens, and I think these things should not happen if you have to communicate really well. So these will be the non-examples of thought structure. So when your speech is not well organized, when you don't have enough subject knowledge, when you're not able to put across, even if you have subject knowledge, when you're not able to put across those words fluently in the language that you're speaking, then all these would be a problem.
Okay, wonderfully explained. Thank you so much, Sudha and John. So yes, thought structure is again an important and integral part of public speaking, because that is what you are speaking. That's the basic, right? So when we are speaking in front of the public, am I audible? Yes? Okay, great. So when we are speaking in front of the public, the first thing that comes to our mind is what we speak, the people trust and believes that, right? So for that reason, we need to have a logic behind our ideas. What is the reason why I'm saying a particular thing? If I'm saying that global warming has, elevated or has increased since over the years, over 15 years or 10 years, whatever I'm saying, I need to have reasons behind that. So if I'm able to explain my thoughts, then probably my thought structure is falling into place. Also, when I'm speaking on a particular subject, I'm not veering off from the topic, as John said, not deviating from the topic, but also talking on the point, exactly what I want to convey. So focusing on the subject, not veering off from the topic. Ability to explain your thoughts, which I said, a proper logical flow in your ideas, like when you are presenting something, obviously you would like to start with a hook statement, isn't it? Like we saw Ramona J. Smith, or we saw the first video. Tomorrow we will be seeing Rita Pearson's video. So all these videos, if you see these kind of effective videos, they always start with a hook statement, right? They always try to grab the attention of the listeners. So we start off with a hook statement, then probably we move on to the thesis, and then we move on to the further details of the subject, and we give our arguments, we provide evidences for our arguments, and then we move on to the conclusion, and if required, we add a plea. So this should be a logical flow in the ideas in case if we are trying to give a convincing presentation. Just giving an example. So yes, it's very important to have a proper logical flow behind whatever I'm saying. Some of the non-examples, as Sudha said, when we are not able to explain our thoughts clearly, when we are not able to explain the logic behind what we are saying. If I'm saying pizza is healthy, I need to give proper logical reasons behind it. If I say that, oh, pizza is healthy, it's just an opinion. Give reasons. Reasons like pizza has lots of veggies on it. Veggies are rich in vitamins and nutrients. So pizza is healthy, right? So something which can be proven with evidences, with data, facts, or examples. So yes, very nicely explained, both of you, John and Sudha. So thought structure would be 4 points: focusing on the subject, not veering off from the topic; ability to explain your thoughts, logical flow in the ideas; ability to explain the logic behind your answers; and non-examples could be your inability to explain your thoughts, inability to explain the logic behind the ideas, and no logical flow. Now we will move on to fluency, and thank you so much, John and Sudha as well. Yes, we will move on to Vishal and Pratik. So Vishal, we will start with you. Some of the examples of fluency.
Ma'am, basically, fluency seems the grassroots of all the above mentioned which you have taught, like confidence, good body language, and voice modulation. So I believe good fluency means good practice of pronunciation and confidence. Basically, a good fluent person who's speaking good and who's speaking smoothly rather than speaking quickly, right? And I believe that if he or she is quite shy or hesitated, he won't be able to speak properly or very smoothly, right? He must be very efficient and must be very properly communicate. Like he must make a proper communication with the people, right? And also he must always have a structured thoughts. And if he does not have any structured thought, if he don't have any kind of perception towards a particular topic which he's speaking on, so he will not have that fluency in that particular topic. And
Absolutely.
I believe that all these points are included in good fluency. I would also like to talk about bad fluency, like making sounds as in okay, and which are making basically making a sounds like
Filler
okay,
words.
an addition, and using all these adjectives which are not mandatory to use actually shows that this person was not very good, in communicating, and quite a bad fluency. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll move on to Pratik, some non-examples.
Sure. So basically, when we talk about fluency, like I also used to do it previously, using a lot of filler words. Like, if we are communicating something in one line, if we can communicate something in one line, we are using a lot of filler words and it goes on to 2 lines or maybe 3. So that indicates that you're not fluent or you don't have a command or grasp of the language. It can be any language in the world. So using a lot of filler words is one. Secondly, taking unnecessary pauses. Like you are pausing to emphasize your point of words, but taking unnecessary pauses always, distracts the audience. Like something else is going on in the speaker's mind, or probably he's trying to, recollect his thoughts or something. So unnecessary pauses is another. And apart from that, yeah, when you are speaking, like it has to be a connect, like what you're thinking and what you're speaking has to be in synchronized manner, not exactly in a same manner, but in synchronized. So the way you are speaking, the way you are giving out your ideas and words and everything, like first a hook statement, then an example, then you give some real life scenarios and situations so that the audience or the person who is listening, they're able to connect. So yeah, this is something which one should take care of. And like the way they are delivering their speech or the way they are speaking, that is important. And yeah, apart from that, grammatical grammatical also matters. Grammatical matters because I know, because I like English as a language, but I'm very bad with grammar. I can be good with Shakespeare or something, but with grammar I'm pretty bad. So yeah, grammatical matters. It matters most. So yeah, that's about it.
Yes, absolutely. Grammar, ability to form complex sentences without any kind of hesitation. That also tells about your fluency. Very good. Okay. Fluency comes with practice, absolutely. Now, when I talk about pronunciation, the first point is pronunciation. Vishal, he picked up that point. Pronunciation is divided into not correct and incorrect, but we always try to categorize pronunciation into two halves, that is good and poor. Okay, so pronunciation, first thing is we all make mistakes with the pronunciation. Many of us do, and even I do. Okay, and first thing, the reason is English is not our native language. Many of you, not all probably. So English is first thing not our native language. We have learned it with experience, knowledge, and our schoolings and all. Second reason is there is a quite a few like you can say miscommunication or misinformation, I would say. We are misinformed about the kind of syllable stresses that we use for most of the words. Like, for example, opportunity is pronounced by many of the people I've seen, they call it as opportunity. Probably is spoken as probably. There are many such kind of mistakes that we do, but it's absolutely fine. We are humans. To err is human. Okay. But as public speaking experts, creative writing experts, we must keep on upskilling ourselves, keep on upgrading, and always make sure that we go ahead and check the pronunciations in the Google or in the dictionary and try to keep ourselves updated with all the pronunciations. Like few months back, I came across a word. I was not able to pronounce it. I made it sure that I go back to the Google, I check for the pronunciation, play it 4 to 5 times so that it gets inside my head, and then I don't make a mistake. It's absolutely fine. Nobody is here to judge you. But yes, since we are the experts, we are going to teach the students. It's important that we do not pronounce tortoise as tortoise, but as tortoise, right? So we do these mistakes because we have been taught since the very beginning. Our teachers used to call it tortoise, isn't it? But yes, with proper information and upskilling, upgrading ourselves, these things won't happen. Yes, many of the people, they say pronunciation. It's not pronunciation, it's pronunciation. Tiger, I have never heard before. That's a new one. Okay. So thank you, Prateek. Yes, and Vishal as well. Thank you for your ideas. Very nicely put up. So fluency, good pronunciation could be an example of a fluent person. Ideal speed of talking, the way we speak. Now, speed, if you really want to check out pace, no, sometimes if you get some time, please go check out Daniel Pink's videos. Dan Pink, we call him Dan Pink. Please watch out his videos. You would see the way he, shifts and transforms his pace, how he changes the pace. Sometimes he's slow and sometimes he changes the pace to fast. How? So the way he changes the pace, so that's the ideal pace of speech. So the pace, if that is too slow, if I am speaking in a very slow pace, that means that probably I'm thinking about the words and I'm not fluent enough, right? Ability to form longer sentences, that would only happen if we are grammatically strong and we know how to form the sentences, complex sentences. Non-examples could be poor pronunciation, using filler words, as you both said, slow pace of speech, and inability to form longer sentences. Yes. So that was all. Yes, Isha, we would like to say something.
Ma'am, I want to tell you about the fluency part, and there are few things I think that have been missed up. When we are talking about pronunciation, there are two most important things that are MTI, mother tongue influence, and the another word is vernacular words, isn't it? While we speak up, some of the states
No.
are having mother tongue influence in their speaking part.
Yes.
Like if we talk for Punjabis, they generally speak as zebra, jabra. The sound of Z used to be as J.
Yes.
And sometimes while speaking, we use some vernacular words. Okay. What we call the vernacular words while we are going in the speech part, sometimes frequently we use the words without even realizing it. Yeah, that's a like kind of informal tone in between, and we use some of the Hindi kind of phrases in between. So that we call as vernacular words. That also happens while speaking. I think that these points are also being included in the fluency as well as in the tone part.
So MTI is a part of pronunciation, and you are absolutely correct. Because of the MTI, there are lots of pronunciation that are affected. And not only MTI, there are other reasons of the poor pronunciation. So MTI is one of the reasons why poor pronunciation happens. And also, I will show you an example of Pranamika. We will be modeling out a feedback for her on day 3. So you will see that she is pronouncing education as education, and she's pronouncing Assam as Assams because of the mother tongue influence. And she's pronouncing teacher as teacher because in Assam the ch pronunciation is not there, isn't it? Ch and j, these kind of pronunciations are not there. That is why she's pronouncing it in her own manner. So those are MTIs, and that is why poor pronunciation. You are absolutely correct. So yes.
Even I want to clarify one more thing.
Yes.
Like what I have read till today, that while we are in a speaking zone, the grammatical errors, especially the tense errors, does not count much unless and until it is not changing the meaning of the sentence.
Absolutely.
But the thing that should be maintained is SU structure. That should be purely meant to be while in the speaking part. Is I'm right or wrong? That is the thing I want
Absolutely,
to ask.
yes. No, absolutely right. Grammar is an important portion of our speaking. When we form sentences, it needs to be grammatically correct. The tenses fall out. Most of the students which you will get, you will see that the tenses fall out. They will say a sentence, I'll tell you, ma'am, I have putted my hand on my shoulder. Put it.
But that is the wrong form of verb.
Yes, wrong form of the verb, right? So wrong form of the tense, like the past tense of put is put only. You don't have to add ed to that. So these kind of mistakes you will find, and you are going to change those students into better speakers. Yes, absolutely.
So when
Grammar is.
taking the classes, when we are teaching the students about the speaking part, so we will come across the grammatical errors, or like we have to taught them from the basic criteria that once we will go for the grammar part. If the grammar part is finished, then we will go for the making sentences and like that of thing.
Okay, so that will be absolutely decided by you. You can mix and match. Like I plan my classes in the way where I imbibe grammar, listening, speaking together, listening, speaking, reading together. I take it together, and then writing and grammar in one day. Say, for example, I'm taking two days a week. Okay, for one student. Like, for example, you are my student. I would say a Monday we will be doing speaking, reading, and listening, and and on Friday we will be doing grammar and writing. So that writing and grammar can go hand in hand. So it depends on how you plan your classes. Totally up to you. If you
As
can
you
do
said
grammar,
earlier, the post what we have to give to the student is already maintained on the portal.
yes.
And
Yes.
now it's being contradictory that I can plan it according to me.
I'm saying the curriculum will be provided to you if you want to. You're not getting my point. The materials will be provided to you. Now, how you are going to teach the materials, that's absolutely up to you. You can plan
Now I
accordingly. You can, yeah, yes, you can plan your schedule accordingly. And if you want to improvise, you are free to do that. If you feel that this is not enough, I want to add something else to it, you can obviously do that. Okay.
Okay, now I got it. I was in a mode that the student will be enrolled, like he will be asking that I am enrolled for a 1 month session, and please keep me up to date in that 1 month. So in 1 month, we are having a schedule, like in day one, we have to do that thing with the student, and day two that. So I was
No,
a
the
bit
schedule
confused with that part.
will be made by you. The learning plan, the curriculum, we will provide it to you. Right?
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. So we have already covered the 5 pillars of public speaking. Remember, there are 5 pillars: body language, confidence, voice modulation, thought structure, and fluency. Now, quickly, we need to move on to the closing because it's already 1 p.m. I don't want you to sit for more longer. How to join the session, I think you already know, but still I'll just share it with you.
Go to the link provided in your email to log into your Planet Spark account. Here.
Is it audible, teachers? Okay, great.
Choose the option of login with your OTP. Enter your phone number and click on Send OTP. Once you receive the OTP, please enter here. Once you log in, you will be moved to your dashboard. As you can see here. Here, when you go to upcoming sessions or your sessions that are lined up will be shown. Now, how to join the session at start time. So once your session start time is there, this particular session will move to live sessions and click on join class. Here you can mark your present and then join the link, class link as shown in the video. It will take you to the Zoom session.
Right. This is how you join the session. Okay. I have written something on the chat section. Please go through that and please stay with me. The next is where to watch recordings. Ma'am, I have missed my session. I could not attend 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the session. Can you please repeat? You have all the recordings in your training schedule. How to see your training schedule first? Let's see. You can go to your LMS and you
now
can
see how
go
we can
side by side. Okay, you can just check. Yes.
access the training plan and schedule. On the left-hand side menu, go to My Training and select Training.
Again, I'm repeating it loudly so that you all can hear. On the left-hand side of your screen, on your dashboard, there is an option which says My Training. The blue panel will come out only if you hover your mouse there. Once you hover your mouse on the left-hand side, the blue panel will open up. And in that blue panel, you will have My Training. Under My Training, there are 4 or 5 options. Out of them, you will be mostly using the second one, that is Training Schedule and Resources. Please make sure you click on that and check what exactly is this about. After you click on training schedule and
Schedule
resources,
and
you will get
resources.
your training plan. I have switched off the voice. This is your training plan and this is how it looks like. Okay. Now, please make sure, sometimes due to technical glitches, the sessions might show as repeated. Okay. Please don't get confused. Make sure that you look for the correct date. Okay. If you are looking for today's session, you will look for 11th March. And once you get this 11th March, say for example, this is December 25th. Okay. There is a drop down arrow there. If you can see clearly, this drop down arrow you have to click to get all the resources. All the resources are right there in that drop down arrow. Am I clear? Okay. So this is your training plan. Let me play it once again.
You can see that the dates are mentioned and the session time as well for each and every day. This
Again, I'm repeating, please look for the dates and not the days. Okay, date, D-A-T-E.
is your training schedule.
Right. Now, how to view the session presentation? The presentation that I showed you, how to get that? It's there.
Let's have a look how you can access the session resource. When you go to a particular session and click on its drop down, an expanded view will open up. From here, you can see resources written on the left side and on.
Can you see this? Once you open it, it will expand. After expanding, you will see there are 4 things. Here, this is an old video. Now you will have 4 things. You will have resources. In there, you will have day 1 deck. That is the presentation. Just below or above that, you will have a video. Okay, video. That video is for you to watch it again and again if you want to go through the session once more. Okay, just below that, you have a quiz. Can you see that? There is a quiz. After I show all these videos, you're going to attempt the quiz right in the session. Okay, and then there is an assignment which you have to attempt. Okay, this can be done after the class. Assignments are not mandatory, but they are very, very important for your practice. These are just kind of homeworks that I gave you after each session. I will be giving you. Okay, it's just a homework, right?
On the right hand side, view here. Click on view here to look at the session resource.
Okay, so that was your training resources, how to see your training resources. Now, quiz and practice assignment, I have already shown you. Now, how to reach out to the chat support.
On your dashboard, you will be able to reach out to us via chat support. In case you're facing any query and you're not able to access the session, please click on this chat box.
Can you see the chat box on the bottom right hand side? Please make sure you are clicking on that one. Bottom right hand side. Okay, there is a chat support up also. Please don't use that. I'm not talking about that. Down below in the bottom right hand side corner, you have a chat box.
On the right hand side bottom, and write down your query to us.
Okay. Someone has requested me to show the quiz and practice assignment. You won't understand it here. Training schedule I have to show you.
Let's now see how we can access the training plan and schedule. On the left hand side menu, go to My Training and select Training Schedule and Resources. When you click that, you will see a page like this will open up where all your sessions are listed. You can see that the dates are mentioned and the session time as well for each and every day. This is your training schedule.
Okay, this is your training schedule. Who was asking me for the quiz? Shivangi, yes? So this is your training schedule. If you click on the drop down arrow, this one, you will get your quiz. I'll show you how.
Let's see how you can give a quiz on the platform. Again, in the expanded view, you will see it's written quiz, and on the right hand side, take.
Can you now see it? It's on the left hand side blue panel. You will click on my training. Under my training, you have training schedule and resources. If you click on that, you will get today's training session name. Click on the drop down arrow, it will expand. Once it expands, you will see the quiz there, assignment there, today's recording there, and today's presentation that I have used. Yes, Pratik, I'm coming to you, don't worry. Now I'm going to share the teacher's handbook, which is the Bible, okay? When I'm saying that it's a Bible, that means that you are going to use it religiously. Okay, so it will be used by you in every single moment. Why? Because this is where your demo related PPTs are given. Please don't write anything in the chat section once. No, Safina, you do not need to leave the session. I have shared the teacher's handbook just now. Now, what you have to do with this handbook, please click on this link, click it, bookmark it on your Google Chrome. Please bookmark, please don't ask me how to bookmark. You can ask your children or your siblings or anybody else who can guide you how to bookmark a link, okay? If you don't know how to bookmark, what you can do is you can copy, paste it in a Word document or a notepad and save it on your laptop. Later on, you can ask somebody how to bookmark it, okay? Done, everyone? Now, let's move on to the quiz time. Yes, Pratik. Please unmute.
Ma'am, actually, I wanted to know regarding the chat support, like you showed the bottom one we have to use. So we can ask like any queries or queries related to the training only on that one.
Any query.
Okay.
Any query related to your future time when you are going to join, about your onboarding process, everything you can ask anything related to. Of course, as of now, you will be having questions regarding your training.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, Tarun, you need to complete your quiz right now. Okay. Others also, please complete your quiz. Let me know once you are done. Completed? Wonderful. Shruti, yes.
Getting an error message saying we are experiencing a surge in our application usage and I'm not able to.
Okay, no worries. After the training session is done, then you can just check it after half an hour. And if it is back again, it's okay. If it is not back again, please take a screenshot, share it with the chat support team.
All right, okay. I'll do that.
Operational issues, please raise it with the chat support. Yes, that's what I said. Taslim, I can't find the quiz. I just showed you 5 videos. In 3 of the videos, they showed quiz and assignment. If you still cannot follow, listen to my voice clearly. Go to your dashboard. On the left-hand side, there is a blue panel. Hover your mouse around that. Once that blue panel opens, it expands. There will be a My Training section. Under My Training, you will have training, schedule, and resources. My Training, under that, training, schedule, and resources. Please click on that. You will find today's session, Introduction to Planet Spark, or Induction, sorry, Induction. And click on the drop-down arrow. Please click on that, expand it, and then you will get the quiz. Done. Okay, very good. Now, you will be seeing, teachers, one more thing. You might see that there are 2 quizzes. One is for the first session and one is for the second session. There are 2 sessions today, isn't it? So every day there will be 2 sessions. So there will be 2 quizzes. Please make sure you check both of them. First day, second day, it will be same. You don't have to answer twice. But I think from the day 3, it will be 2. There will be 2 quizzes. Just check. Always have a habit of checking the second one also. Yes, I attended one, but both are passed, Vishal. Yes. So because both of the quizzes are same, that is why. Yes, Pratik.
Ma'am, is it possible to reattempt the quiz, because the answers I gave, they are fine, but for my future reference, if I can write the questions down somewhere.
I don't think so. Try. I don't know. You can try
Okay.
once again.
I'll just check. Sure.
Yeah, try. Teachers, if what to do with the assignment, click on the assignment. I already showed you how to give your quiz and assignment.
It's not allowing, ma'am.
Not allowing, then leave it. No problem. It's okay. Quizzes are not going to affect your onboarding anyways. This is how you give your practice assignments. Please check here.
In a similar way, you can also give your assessment. Go back to the
So when you click on the attempt assignment button, it will take you to another page like this. Yes, this is how it will look like. Click on attempt your assignment, and then it will take again to the Willow link. Okay. Today you will have an assignment of 2 questions. It will hardly take 5-10 minutes. That's it. Yeah, you can do it later, no problem. I'm not being able to get my dashboard, Aparna. Aparna, you have joined the training session from your dashboard. Assignments are not mandatory. They don't have any deadlines. They are homeworks. Quizzes are mandatory. Please attempt them after every session. Okay. Yes, you can complete the video test later, video assignment. Yes, Aparna.
I'm still not being able to get to that blue part of on my screen.
Hover your mouse around.
No.
Are you on your dashboard?
I can see you.
No, you are on Zoom meeting, ma'am. You need to go back to your dashboard from the place where you have joined the session, ma'am. Yes, others who have done the quiz can leave the session. The session is over. Thank you so much.